This is the digital story of my service learning project with MPIRG over the course of spring 2011. I volunteer with an organization called Minnesota Public Interest Research Group, or MPIRG for short. MPIRG was founded in 1971. MPIRG is a grassroots, nonpartisan, and nonprofit organization. Its purpose is to empower the voice of the student as well as impact the community by campaigning, educating, and working hard to make a difference throughout Minnesota. Such an awesome group requires awesome folks to run it. The U of M Twin Cities chapter director is Dakota Ray Johnson. She's particularly awesome because she used to be a student here at the U. That alone makes her really relatable and down to earth. She's very passionate about MPIRG and takes time to meet with members and work on projects so various agendas can run smoothly. Within MPIRG, there are 4 task forces: political justice, economic justice, gender and sexuality, and the task force I'm a part of, environmental sustainability. Within each task force, there are members and task force leaders. My task force leaders were Emma Wright, also known as Emma Righteous, and Elena Hayes. Some of you may know her from this class. These girls are radical and super passionate about the environment. They were great go-to people because they really care about the projects that we work on. I couldn't have asked for better task force leaders. English speakers primarily dominate Minnesota Public Interest Research Group. The chatter of political, economical, social, and gender issues can be heard amongst the crowd, which gathers every Monday for general meetings. As well as serious chatter, a lighter air is mixed in with talks of most recent weekends, as well as the groans of new academic weeks beginning. Order can be heard when the clock strikes 4:30 p.m. On occasion, and when lucky, food can be found at these gatherings. Potluck style is best. This usually is the way that food ends up for our meetings: chips, cookies, candy, etc. Most times though, with our meetings being held in the heart of campus, Coffin Memorial Union, foods from within the eatery are consumed: Panda, Chick-fil-A, Einstein, etc. Oftentimes, leftovers and late lunches or early dinners are consumed while we drive through the topics and the items that need attention. Kaufman itself is always swarming with people: students, professors, workers, and visitors. Within the room 303, a mostly distinct crowd gathers. Personal style is evident upon entrance. No one is quite mainstream. Individuals can be seen. The room itself resembles what I would imagine a city hall meeting to look like. Table in front, 2 leaders to facilitate the crowd, and this crowd spanning the rest of the room. Smell is a less evident sense in the grand scheme of things. The occasional aroma of food can be smelled. Upon nicer weather, open windows let in fresh air and warm breeze, the smell of spring. A comforting feeling can be felt upon entrance. Although most of us have only met this year, a sense of family has been established. Inviting and welcoming to both new and old members brings a sense of belonging and contentment to all. Even on days when no one is quite chipper, a sense of unity and togetherness perseveres and fuels everyone to do work. A sense of empowerment can be felt pulsating through the room. Whether an individual or group of project is approached, a "we can do it" or "yes we can" vibe pulses through the members of the group. As I mentioned earlier, I am a member of the Environmental Sustainability Task Force. Rewarding moments included joy-cotting with my task force, working on our documentary screening about the Alberta tar sands, attending Issues and Actions, a conference where MPIRG votes on which issues they will focus on in years future, and putting together the bike consumer guides. I also became communications co-chair with Cora Ellingson-Meyer, and we focused on getting the word about MPIRG out via Facebook, Twitter, and Blogspot. Of course, at times, things were hard, mornings were early, and projects were tiring, but it was always rewarding to see the payoff and awesome end results. Each task force faced its own issues. Political justice faced a lot of issues in regards to voter ID policies and pay-to-play. Voter ID policy changes that the government wants to change would make it so you have to vote within the poll assigned to your address on your license or ID. This would directly impact students here at the U and at other universities because most of us have our permanent addresses and not our current addresses on our IDs. This would eliminate the voice of hundreds of thousands of youth. Gender and sexuality tackled many issues throughout the year, a major one being the lack of gender-neutral bathrooms on campus and throughout the community. This is a problem because not everyone identifies with a specific gender, which becomes a problem when people have to go to the bathroom and it becomes a very awkward and uncomfortable situation. Economic justice went up against many issues, including making sweatshop-free clothing more accessible. They did have some success, though, by getting the shelves at Kaufman Bookstore stocked with some Alta Gracia sweatshop-free apparel. Environmental sustainability, my task force, worked a lot with educating the community about the Alberta tar sands and the inefficiencies regarding that. We also worked on local businesses making sure that they were recycling well as educating students on campus by creating and distributing bike consumer guides, which I designed. In terms of personal framework, I fit into a few different categories. I'm not into labels because although I embrace them, I believe in most situations, who you are becomes more important than who you appear to be. For the sake of it though, here goes. I am a first-generation American. I am Nigerian. I am Cameroonian. I am African American. I am a female. I am middle class. I'm a student. I'm an employee. I believe any of these labels played a particularly large role in regards to my involvement with MPIRG. I think the thing about MPIRG is that it's not just for certain types of people. It does not appeal to one race, class, or gender more than another. MPIRG is a group where everyone and anyone is welcome, and it has a mass appeal for which it makes unique to student groups here on campus. I believe MPIRG is a very well-oiled machine. As I mentioned earlier, they've been operating since 1971, and throughout those 40 years, I believe it has grown, changed, and morphed into something better and better as it grows and gets older. Of course, when working with any group, equal distribution of labor can become an issue, but in the end, the people that are most passionate step up and take on the more work. At times, this can cause problems, but really, it's only natural. On a personal note, I'm a big advocate for the environment. I encourage recycling, efficient energy use, and being kind to the earth. By getting involved in MPIRG, I've been able to learn more on how to become more earth-friendly, as well as how to spread the word and educate others. I've also been able to grow more as a person in general. MPIRG is such an accepting group of people, so I've never felt afraid to just be myself. Being in such an environment has allowed me to fully and thoroughly become who I truly am.